The story going into today's ball game is Josh Donaldson's return to Toronto for the first time since the trade to Cleveland last year, where the Jays got Julian Merryweather in exchange for Josh Donaldson. Then he signs with the Atlanta Braves on a one-year deal in the offseason, and this is the first time he has been back at Rogers Center since then, since August 31st of last year, just a shade under a year ago, actually. And the Blue Jays win it 3-1. The 80-53 Atlanta Braves coming into the ball game, and the 53-80 Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays come out on top. The pitching was stellar for the Blue Jays in this one. And speaking of pitching, on the mound for the Braves was Canadian boy, Mike Soroka. And he was very good after the first inning where the Blue Jays got on him early. The young guys got to him early. Bo Bichette leads off the ball game with a single, and that's exactly what you want to see. It was an infield single to third, a little chopper to Josh Donaldson, and it was a very interesting play because we had seen, over the years, we have seen Josh Donaldson make that play many, many times. The little dribbler in front, down the third base line, he bare hands it and fires a gun to first in time, usually. But this time, he airmails it, and it goes into the seats. Bo Bichette at second. And that was an error by Josh Donaldson on the very first play of the ball game for him. Next up, Kevin Biggio. He singles to right field. Bichette to third. The young guy's getting it done early. Next up, Vladdy. He singles to center field. Bichette comes in. And Biggio to third. Once again, the young guy's getting it done. Right on Mike Soroka early. The young core of this Blue Jays team is showing what they're made of early on in the ball game. And that's exactly what you like to see. Then Rowdy Tellez fouls out and Randall Grichuk strikes out. But then Justin Smoak comes up with two out and runners at first and third. And, you're not in great situations here, right? I mean, you had first and third, first and second, nobody out, and you could, or was it first and third? It was first and third, and you could not bring it and another run to cross. We're like, man, that is really tough. You got the 1-0 lead, but you had opportunities to keep building on the lead. And Justin Smoak comes up with two out in the first, and he singles to right field, a clutch 2-out knock for Justin Smoak. And that puts the Jays up 2-0 early. And boy, oh boy, did that lead hold pack for quite some time. No runs were scored until the 7th inning after that. So that tells me that Wilmer Font was awesome. I thought he was spectacular. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, didn't walk a batter, didn't allow a run, and struck out 4. He was awesome. Zach Godley came out, and he was great. 3 innings, 2 hits, walked 2, and struck out 2. Also had some very good defense behind him. A couple of really nice plays from Derek Fisher and Randall Grichuk. Grichuk off of Donaldson, and I think Freddie Freeman was the one off of Derek Fisher, or the one for Derek Fisher. Great defensive plays there. Zach Godley with 3 shutout innings. He actually picks up the victory. And then Tim Mayza goes out for 2/3 of an inning, gives up a hit, but that's about it for him. Jason Adam comes out, faces one guy, gets his guy, and a good job there from him. Jordan Romano goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up a run, but it's hard to give it to him because Derek Law comes in and gives up the double to Ozzie Albies. And that was the RBI double to make it a 2-1 ball game. That run charged to Jordan Romano. He goes to 2/3 of an inning, gives up 1 hit, 1 walk, and gives up a run. ERA of 5.14 for Jordan Romano, but I think he'll be just fine here at the big league level. I'm not really worried about him. And Derek Law, after giving up the double, walks a couple guys. He had a tough time in that first inning, but he does a great job the rest of the way. Went an inning and a third, 1 hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout, and his ERA dropped to 4.83. And then you saw Ken Giles come out in the bottom of the 9th inning, or top of the 9th inning, give up a base hit to Billy Hamilton to lead off the inning. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, now you're turning the lineup over to Ronald Acuna Jr., who we have now learned has an absolute hose from right field. Threw out 2 Blue Jays trying to stretch a single into a double. Incredible arm from Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the best young players in the game. It's incredible to watch. But then Ken Giles goes 1, 2, 3, gets Acuna, gets Albies, and gets Freddie Freeman to end the ball game and pick up a 17th save on the year. And what a job by the Blue Jays. Now, I didn't forget to mention, but I have not yet mentioned Justin Smoak absolutely obliterating a pitch in the bottom of the 7th inning, giving the Jays, we always talk about it, right? We always talk about when you score a run, you want to put up a 0 the next inning. Well, it was a 2-0 game for the longest time. They score that one run and cut it to a 1-run lead. And then in the next half inning, Justin Smoak absolutely crushes a 1-1 pitch deep into the second deck into left field. Smoke bomb for Smokey. His 20th home run of the year, his 3rd consecutive 20 home run season as a Blue Jay. And that brought the 2-run lead back for the Blue Jays. And they're feeling much better about themselves at that point. And that's really how the ball game ended. Actually, a crazy ending to this one, actually. I think it was in the bottom of that, the top of the 7th. Because yes, they had the RBI double to tie the game, or to make it a 2-1 ball game. But with Derek Law going out there, the bases are loaded for Josh Donaldson. And he pops up on the infield. I mean, that was pretty much, us as Toronto sports fans know when people get traded away or signed or somewhere else or whatever, they always come back and haunt the Jays, the Leafs, the Raptors, whatever. And with Josh Donaldson in that situation of bases loaded, 2 out, in a 1-run ball game, we all saw things going wrong, but instead he pops out to end the inning. A huge moment in the game. Again, we always talk about it. We talk about it saying you get that one opportunity late in the ball game, and if you don't capitalize, you don't usually get that opportunity again. And they had that opportunity, they didn't capitalize, and the Jays held on and won the ball game. You always hear around baseball, good pitching beats good hitting. And the Jays pitching staff today was absolutely incredible. They did an amazing job, and when you hold the starting lineup, the starting 4 guys of Acuna, Albies, Freeman, and Josh Donaldson, which is lethal. Acuna was 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Albies was 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Freeman was 0 for 4 with a strikeout, and Donaldson was 0 for 4. When you hold those guys to that, not only are you going to win a lot of ball games, but that shows you how good the pitching was for the Blue Jays today. Good pitching beats good hitting almost 90% of the time. Unless you're the Blue Jays in 2015, then holy smokes, your hitting's contagious and you're just freakish. But we're not going to get into that. The young guys got the job done today. You saw Bo Bichette go 1 for 4 with a run scored, obviously, in the first inning there. Kevin Biggio went 2 for 3 in the ballgame with a run scored and walked once. He was one of the victims of the Ronald Acuna Jr. hosing from right field. And Vladdy goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. Great to see him get a couple hits in the ballgame. And an RBI for him. What number RBI is that for Vladdy? That is RBI number 58 on the season for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Great to see for him. Rowdy Tellez 1 for 4. Again, victim of Ronald Acuna Jr.'s hose in right field. And Smokey has a great ball game. We haven't seen this a lot from Smokey this year. It's good to see him have a good one, though. He went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Obviously had a home run in the ball game and a run scored, and he also walked once. Great job for Justin Smoak in the ball game today. And Reese McGuire. This guy, look, he's quietly been a really good backup catcher for the Blue Jays this season. He was 2 for 2 with a walk in the ball game today. He's hitting .255 on the season with a .271 on base, but today was his first walk, so that's why the on base isn't as high as a lot of the other guys are. But Reese McGuire swinging the bat a lot better than I thought he would. Now, ideally, it's in a very small sample size. I mean, I want to see how many games he's played this year. This is only game number 14. I mean, it's not a lot, right? But seeing him go out there today and do a good job, it's nice to see. It really is. And for this Blue Jays team, it's all about confidence. Because the next, I think it's like 6 series are incredibly difficult. And if anybody who doesn't know what I mean, like, James, what are you talking about? Who are they playing? Well, obviously they have Atlanta for 2. We know about that this series. Then they welcome in Houston for 3. The Astros, the really good Houston Astros. Then you go to Atlanta for 2. Then you go to Tampa for 4, excuse me. Then you are welcoming in the Boston Red Sox, and I don't care how the Red Sox are out in the playoffs right now. They're still the Boston Red Sox. Then you welcome in the New York Yankees. I mean, holy smokes. That's a lot of good teams in a row. But to be the best, you have to beat the best. And for these young guys ready to come into the swing of things, and when the September call-ups come up, they see Houston, Atlanta, Tampa, Boston, New York. So anybody who's coming up who's never been here before, like a guy like TJ Zucker could be here, get ready, young fella, because you're going to be thrown right into the fire right away. But a great win for the Blue Jays today. It was nice to see them get a victory after a really, really rough road trip. It was nice to see them come home today in the return of Josh Donaldson and beat Josh Donaldson. It was nice to see for the Blue Jays to do so. But I do miss Josh Donaldson. When he hit that ball to center field, I thought it was gone. The way he swings the bat, the way that ball came off his bat, I thought it was gone. But a great job by Grichuk running it down. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, though. What is your fondest memory of Josh Donaldson? All right, I want to hear your number one. I'm not saying top five. I'm not saying number one. What is your one fondest memory of Josh Donaldson? Is it the Donaldson dash against the Texas Rangers in the ALDS in 2016? Is it the three-run shot against the White Sox there in 2015? Is it the walk-off in the final home game of the season in 2015? I mean, there's all kinds of things you could talk about when it comes to Josh Donaldson. It's amazing. Diving into the seats at Tropicana Field to preserve the no-hitter for Marco Estrada. Ideally, it didn't last much longer after that. He didn't end up getting the no-hitter, but what is your fondest Josh Donaldson memory? Mine is the Donaldson dash, because that right there sums up the player he is, aggressive, and I loved it. Now, ideally, it was a walk-off in a playoff series, so that right there, I think it sums it up for me. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what is your favorite Josh Donaldson memory. All right, let's go through the minor leagues here real quickly before we tee up the next game for the Blue Jays. All right, in Buffalo, you got to keep an eye on Anthony Kay. I mean, I've talked about him over and over again, and guys, Marcus Stroman has not done a whole lot for the New York Mets, and he was on the mound today in a pivotal game against the Cubbies, and he didn't do well. 6 innings of 4-run ball. Marcus Stroman did. They ended up losing that game, and they're now 3 out of a playoff spot, and it's not looking too good for the Mets right now. But as for the Blue Jays and getting Anthony Kay, who has been absolutely unhittable in Buffalo. He went 6 2/3. Okay, maybe not unhittable. He gave up 5 hits. But he gave up 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 5. Ladies and gentlemen, his ERA as a Buffalo Bison in 6 starts. Remember, he had 7 in Syracuse, and it had an ERA of 6.61. In his first 6 starts in Buffalo, 1.89. Are you kidding me? Anthony Kay is having some type of stretch for the Buffalo Bisons right now. He's done an unbelievable job pitching for this team. You can arguably say, look at that Buffalo rotation right now, people. We talk about how the Jays need pitching. TJ Zook is down there. He's been awesome lately. Oh yeah, Nate Pearson's down there. And oh yeah, Anthony Kay is right there. 3 guys that could be starters for the Jays for years to come are bang, right there and ready to go. And we can go through the list of all the other great young pitchers this team has in the minor leagues. They're doing amazing. Anthony Kay, will he be here soon? Will he be a September call-up? I don't know, because he's only had a combined 13 starts in AAA, combining his stats from New York to Toronto. So I don't know if you do that. A guy like TJ Zook I see being a September call-up, not Nate Pearson. It's going to be a crazy September. I don't know what the heck we're going to see at the big league level. I don't know what we're going to see. Offensively, any positives? Santiago Espinal had a 3-run home run, went 1 for 4 in the ball game with a run scored, obviously 3 RBIs, and he's hitting .280. Is Espinal in a short time in AAA. Forrest Wall with a tough one, 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. He's only hitting 167, and that's about it. Anthony Alford 0 for 4 with a strikeout in the leadoff spot there in Buffalo. Tough ball game for him. And we're going to go down to the AA New Hampshire Fisher Cats, where Hector Perez was on the mound, and he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. I got to say that about Hector Perez's outing. I think he went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs in those 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, walked 3. When he struck out 7 guys in 4 innings, his ERA dropped 0.01. There we go. It's went from 4.61 to 4.60. Big numbers for Hector Perez. But again, he picks up the loss in the ball game, 7-6 on the season. And Joshua Palacios went 2 for 4 in the ball game today. He was struggling a lot lately, but it was good to see him go 2 for 4 today. He's hitting .264. Kevin Smith went 1 for 3 in the ball game, and Logan Warmoth went 1 for 3. But that was it for the offense. Only 4 hits for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats in their game today. All right, and the Dunedin Blue Jays, they had a doubleheader today. And my boy, Maximo Castillo, was on the mound in Game 1. Now, I think they won the game 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. They did, and Maximo Castillo went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run. It was not an earned run, did not walk a batter, and struck out 5. Remember, this guy is 21 years old, 20 or 21 years old. He's in the area of 2.69 at Dunedin. He's been spectacular. And offensively, not a whole lot going on there, just a couple 1-1s here and there. And in Game 2, they lost 5-2, but Graham Sparker was on the mound, and this guy's been great down there. 4 innings, 3 hits, walked 3, didn't strike out a batter, though. That's weird. ERA of 2.90 for Graham Sparker down there in Dunedin. Good job by him. Once again, not much offense, except for Kevin Vicuna going 2 for 3 with a run scored. He's hitting .252 in Dunedin, so it's great to see for him. And we'll go quickly down to the Lansing Lugnuts, who I think they're still playing. Yeah, they're still playing. It's in the top of the 9th inning. It's a 12-9 game. Big ball game. Holy smokes. And listen to this, guys. This is a crazy box score. Otto Lopez 1 for 4 in the ball game with a walk and a run scored. He's hitting .322. Yorman Rodriguez continues to hit the ball at a stupidly good pace. He was 2 for 5 with two runs scored. He's hitting .356. And Griffin Conine, listen to this one. He hasn't struck out. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI. He's scored 3 runs. He's walked 4 times, has Griffin Conine. The last couple of games, he's done a really good job at the plate. I've liked what we've seen from Conine over the last few games, but again, can he continue to do so? It's all going to take time. But a great ball game for him. Gabriel Moreno 1 for 4 in the ball game with a walk, a run scored, and 3 RBIs. He's hitting .283 on the season. So that's it down there for the Lansing Lugnuts. And tomorrow for the Vancouver Canadians, Adam Kloffenstein gets the start in that one. So once again, Alec Manoah doing great things down there for the Vancouver Canadians. And so is Adam Kloffenstein. He's on the mound tomorrow. All right, 7:05 first pitch. Vancouver time. All right, and down in Bluefield, Leonardo Jimenez continues to swing the bat really, really well. He was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored in the game. He's hitting .289. Remember, this guy's a 2001 kid. This is a young kid down there in the minors for the Blue Jays. And Miguel Geraldo 1 for 4 with a run scored. He's hitting .300 on the season. All right, so guys, Game 2. I guess the finale of the mini 2-game series against the Atlanta Braves, guys, goes tomorrow night, 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. Listen to the names in this game. Jacob Waguespack. I mean, if you haven't seen the name before, then you know it's crazy. And Mike Fultonavich on the mound for the Atlanta Braves in Game 2 and the finale of the mini 2-game series at Rogers Center. All right, so guys, you know what? That is going to do it for this one. Excuse me. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed the ball game today, because it was a very entertaining, intense game, smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the minor leaguers, your thoughts on Anthony Kay. I want to hear your guys' early thoughts on him and his numbers down in AAA Buffalo. All right, I want to hear your guys' thoughts about everything towards the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, and once again, your fondest memory of Josh Donaldson. Let me know in the comments below. All right, so guys, check out my main man Mo Buckets on Twitter, guys. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. Him and his buddy Rob doing the Instagram page, doing the podcast. I hope you'll be on their podcast this week. It'll be a lot of fun to talk about all the minor leaguers when it comes to this Blue Jays team and what the big league club is all about. Hopefully we'll be on there this week. Once again, Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. Twitter is down below, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys Blue Jays edition in the finale of the mini 2-game series as the Blue Jays look for the mini sweep in the mini 2-game series. Lots of minis going on here. At Rogers Center, 7:07 first pitch. Mike Fultonavich on the mound for the Braves. Jacob Waguespack on the mound for the Blue Jays. 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.